From the News Channel 5 network, this is Pharmacist-on-Call.
Good evening, Nashville, Middle Tennessee, those of you in Southern Kentucky, those of you as far west as Jackson, Tennessee, and those of you as far east as McMinnville. Welcome to Pharmacist on Call with your host, Dr. Sean Pruitt. And if you are watching this show, I am your community pharmacist. Well, everyone, welcome to February show. And I hope you all enjoyed the big snowfall that we had. And looks like we got a little bit more coming in on Monday and Tuesday. So this is your 1 hour forum. This is Pharmacist on Call, but it is about you. This is where you get to ask those burning questions that you don't have the opportunity to ask your physicians or your pharmacists because they may be a little bit too busy. But before we get into the show, I wanted to do some shout outs and condolences. I first wanted to send out condolences to a friend of the pharmacy, Miss Misty Burnett. Wanted to send out condolences to her family, especially her daughter, whom I understand is taking it not very well. So wanted to make sure that they know that they're in our thoughts and our prayers. Wanted to send some shout outs to some people who came by the store who were viewers, Mr. and Mrs. Hudson, who happened to stop by and say they were long-time viewers. So wanted to tell you all thank you, and hey, wish you to keep coming to the store. Also want to send out a shout out to Tony Atkins, another viewer who is one of our water customers, pretty loyal. And wanted to send some birthday shout outs just quickly. We got a lot of February birthdays for whatever reason. Cedric Armour, one of my fraternity brothers. Miss Erica Daly Battle, my cousin. My other cousin, Reese Garcia. Miss Shauna Hall, who is the wife of one of my technicians, Chris. And then there's one other person I wanted to send an early birthday shout out to, without whom this show would not be possible, who was very instrumental in my life, that person being me. I will turn 46 on Valentine's Day, so happy birthday, Dr. Pruitt. All right, house rules for the show. This is your show, so you can call in with any types of questions that you want. Rule number one, there are no silly questions. And chances are, and history has proven, that the questions that you think are kind of silly and mundane, when you do ask them, they do bless others. Because as many thousands of viewers as there are, someone else is thinking the same thing that you are. So feel free to call in with your questions and your comments, especially if you have knowledge. And I can remember the last show that people were calling in with some bits of knowledge. Speaking of last month's show, we tried a couple of times in the fall to have shows based on marijuana and its benefits for our viewers. Well, those didn't go so well. You all apparently wanted to talk about something else. So this show, we will open the floodgates. If you want to talk about marijuana, what you have found helps you, don't worry, you'll be completely anonymous unless you want to give your name. But we found that on the show last month, it became a hot topic out of nowhere. So I believe John was his name. If you want to call in and kind of give us how it has helped you, and I'm sure there are some other viewers who have actually come by the store to tell me that they've gotten medicinal benefit from a number of conditions, whether it be psychiatric or physical or dealing with pain or menopause. So a number of different potential medical benefits from the use of marijuana that I'm getting from you, the viewer. And just from my own research, it appears that there is medical benefit, that there is credence to that. So certainly something we should probably look at as a healthcare system. I don't know how we regulate it. Now, for those of you who are first-time viewers and you're sitting there wondering, who is this guy and what is he talking about? Well, this is Pharmacist on Call, and this show originated from the Open Line series, where I would sit here with a host, I believe Kristen Priesall and Rory Johnson and Chuck Long, where they would ask me questions, and I would respond to them and respond to your viewer calls. But that show went over so well that News Channel 5 Plus has offered me my own show, and that is to directly let you benefit from this. And so this is our service, sponsored by Pruitt's Discount Pharmacy, the pharmacy choice for the uninsured, to you, because we understand that your doctors are busy. Your pharmacists are busy. They don't have time, but for this 1 hour, I do. So make sure you call in with those questions and those comments. Now, speaking about the store itself, we are Pruitt's Discount Pharmacy. We opened August 4th, 2012, and we have a mission to help Middle Tennesseans save money on their medications. What I found as I was looking to research what my pharmacy would be about, came across some research done by the Tennessee Safety Net Consortium, which stated there were about 85,000 plus uninsured Middle Tennesseans. And so these were people who, by and large, had to pay high prices or just the full cost of medication because there was no alternative. And you know how the price of things are. You have to make choices. And so some people have had to make choices with keeping their utilities on or eating or paying for their medicine. And I'll just tell you, as a pharmacist, I've seen people buy cat food for food just because of the cost of their medication. So if you hear those stories, I've seen it firsthand. So these are the people that we serve, but 85,000 who are uninsured. And these are people, by and large, sometimes if you don't get that medication, you will go back to the emergency room only to be given scripts for medication that you couldn't afford in the first place, until eventually the cycle gets to the point that you may not make it to see the next day. So those are the types of things that we are hoping to quell, to hope kind of squash that. We want to stop the repeated emergency room visits. We want you to stop going there to begin with by making the medication affordable in the first place. We are also big on health education, hence a part of this show. And not only health education, because we believe in prevention, but we also believe in incorporating natural medication and dietary changes and lifestyle modification, as well as, the natural medicine. I tell everyone, and I've told all of you for the 2 years we've been on the air, that conventional medicine and alternative medicine can coexist. You can use your prescription medicine with your herbs, so you don't have to cut off one for the other. In fact, I never recommend that. I would recommend that you transition off of one slowly as your symptoms begin to improve. And many of my patients had done that. Another piece of the store is that we are also the Kangen Water store of Nashville. So you say, what the heck is water? What is Kangen Water? Kangen Water is water that is, it's highly alkaline. So the pHs for the alkaline water range from 8.5 to 11. We primarily sell the 9.5. This water comes through a machine, which we take through 4 different processes. We filter the chlorine, we filter the fluoride out with large activated charcoal filters, and this is before it even gets to the machine. So our water is going to be the cleanest in the city. And then once it gets to the machine, it is alkalinized, which means the pH is raised from an acidic level, which is your tap water, probably in the 6 range, I would imagine. And then pH is raised to, like I said, 8.5, 9.5. And then we electrify the water. We team it with antioxidants. So it's gone over, I believe the plates are made of titanium, some titanium alloy, which electrifies the water, gives it antioxidants. And so what is the benefit of drinking this water? Well, any condition that you have related to having too much acidity in your body, the water begins to stem the tide and turn those symptoms around. So conditions like acid reflux, many of our patients have come off of their medication omeprazole, which is Prilosec, simply by drinking this water, and some lifestyle modifications. So the water is very effective for getting rid of acid reflux. Like I said, it's alkaline, and the alkaline high pH is going to neutralize the hydrochloric acid that's in your stomach and take away those symptoms. But we're going to pause that for a second because this show was about you, and we've got a caller. So first caller is Tina. Welcome to Pharmacist-on-Call. How may we help you?
Yes, sir. I have lupus and lost my job over the summer and therefore lost my insurance.
Yes, ma'am.
And so, long story short, I'm off of all of my medications. Mm-hmm. And so I've been trying to do some research to try to find some alternatives for inflammation, different things like that. Now, I did find a clinic where I live, and so I'm able to get like my blood pressure medicines and things like that. And I'm still doing my aspirin and some different things of that nature, but I'm trying to find some alternatives to help with the inflammation and the pain and things like that.
Okay, so are you on hydroxychloroquine?
I am on, for my blood pressure, I'm on...
For the lupus itself?
No, I'm not on any of my lupus medicine. The only thing I'm on at this present time is blood pressure medicine, amlodipine, and that's all I'm on. And I've had 2 heart attacks, and I have had some kidney issues in the past due to my lupus.
Okay. Okay. So did your doctor take you off of that medication, or you said because of the cost, I'm not going to even?
Well, because I lost my insurance, I couldn't even go to my doctor. My doctor wouldn't even see me without, paying the office visits and things like that. I couldn't afford it.
Okay, so you're saying that they didn't write prescriptions, but you have refills?
I did. I went through my refills. I lost my job in the summer.
Okay.
And so I had medicines that got me through the 1st of September, and I've been off of all of my meds since September, with the exception of my blood pressure medicine, because there is a clinic in Murfreesboro for uninsured, and due to that clinic, I was able to get my blood pressure meds and things like that.
Okay. Okay, so when they did your labs, how did they look the last time?
My liver enzymes at that point was messed up. I was under pain management, so they had to change up some of those meds due to my liver functions. But I haven't had a blood draw since, so I'm not sure where I'm at this present time.
Okay. Okay. Well, for your liver, let's look at getting you on something called milk thistle that will help to repair it. In terms of inflammation and you want to stay natural, I would look at turmeric, but let me research alternatively what they're looking at with lupus. It is an autoimmune disorder, so I want to see what is out there that will help you, with your symptomology. So if you could, give me a call at the store after this, and we'll have a more in-depth discussion. I think maybe if you come towards Nashville, there'll be some other resources that can help you get your medication, the hydroxychloroquine, if you're on it, yes, and some of your other medications. So we'll try to point you in the right direction there. Just your blood pressure medicine's not gonna.
No, it's fine. I'm a mess because of me being off of all of my medications.
Yes, ma'am.
And I don't know if you can answer this question or not, but what are your thoughts on marijuana?
Well, my thoughts on marijuana, just listening to the subjective information from some of you, the viewers, and those of you who have come into the store to talk to me, and just from the research that I've done as a scientist, I would have to say that there is merit there. I would have to say that there's a lot of merit with the substance. So does it have potential benefit? Yes. Should we look at it? Absolutely. But you have to realize it's going to be a threat to many of the drugs that I carry in my pharmacy. And so I'm sure that there is a vested interest by the big pharmaceutical companies. They're going to put me off. This will be my last show. There's a vested interest by the large pharmaceutical companies to not have a drug like that would cover so many different disease states, and I would assume be relatively inexpensive. So
that's my thought as well. That's kind of my thought process on it. I belong to a support group with other lupus people, lupus sufferers, and some of them use marijuana and have come off of a lot of their medications,
including pain, from what I've heard.
Absolutely. So I was kind of curious on your thoughts as a pharmacist. But yes, I'm looking forward to calling you and getting touching base with you and seeing what we can come up with.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, good luck. All right, give me a call. Okay. All right, everyone, we are up on a break, and we will see you right there. Hey, call in.